It absorbs thermal energy, bringing it right to the edge of its boiling point as it approaches the distillation column. As the heated feed enters the column, the sudden drop in pressure causes a portion of the liquid to instantly vaporize. This is called flashing. The lighter vapors immediately rise upwards, while the remaining heavy liquid drops down to flow across the plates. As the liquid travels, a small metal lip called a weir forces it to pool up on the tray. Once the liquid gets high enough, it overflows and falls down the downcomer, continuing its journey to the next plate. Pooling the liquid like this does something critical. It increases its residence time. This slowdown gives the rising vapor time to punch through the liquid. As they mix, heavy particles drop out of the vapor and into the liquid, while lighter particles boil out of the liquid and join the vapor. In this specific column, we are using sieve plates. While there are several different types of trays out there, the sieve plate is a simple, effective way to provide the massive surface area needed for this transfer of heavy and light components. Eventually, the heavy liquid completes its journey down the plates and pools at the very bottom of the column. From here, it slowly flows into the reboiler, typically a kettle-style reboiler, to be reheated. Inside the reboiler, steam is pumped through a tube bundle, transferring its heat into the liquid. This intense heat causes a portion of the fluid to boil and vaporize. This newly formed hot vapor is routed directly back into the column to maintain the upward pressure. Meanwhile, the liquid that doesn't vaporize continues to be monitored. If it meets the required chemical specifications, it is officially drawn out of the system as our heavy bottom product. Meanwhile, the lightest components that successfully boiled all the way to the top of the column exit as a hot vapor. This vapor passes through a condenser, typically a shell and tube heat exchanger. Cold cooling water flows through the tubes, pulling the heat out of the vapor and condensing it back into a liquid form. This new liquid collects in a reflux drum. From here, the flow is split. A portion is recycled back into the top of the column as reflux to help cool the rising vapors. The rest, if it meets our strict chemical specifications, is drawn off as our final overhead distillate product. Getting that top distillate product out is a precise balancing act between temperature control and level control. It starts with the temperature trigger. The vapor rising to the top has a specific boiling point that correlates directly to its chemical composition. The thermocouple measures this. If the temperature gets too high, meaning heavier unwanted molecules are creeping up, the control system automatically increases the reflux, pumping cold condensed liquid back in to knock those heavy molecules back down. Once the pure vapor passes through the condenser and turns into a liquid, it pools in the overhead reflux drum. This brings in our level trigger. A level transmitter, often using differential pressure, guided wave radar, or a float, monitors exactly how full this drum is getting. Here is the brilliant part. The column doesn't measure the spec inside the drum and then open a valve. Instead, as pure vapor continuously condenses, the level controller simply says, "The drum is getting full, open the distillate product valve to drain some out." Because our temperature control is already keeping the heavy molecules out, we know that as long as the temperature is correct, the liquid in this drum is guaranteed to be on spec. The bottom of the column operates on the exact same principles, just in reverse. It starts with the temperature trigger. A temperature sensor in the lower trays or the reboiler constantly measures the heat. If the temperature is too low, meaning light, easily vaporized molecules are still trapped in the bottom liquid, the control system signals the reboiler to add more heat, usually via steam, to boil them off. Just like at the top, we also have a level trigger. As the heavy liquid pools at the base of the column, a level transmitter constantly watches this accumulation. As the heavy liquid accumulates, the level controller opens the bottom's product valve to pump it out to storage, keeping the liquid level in the column perfectly steady. Because the reboiler temperature is being strictly maintained, that liquid is known to be on spec. All of these control loops exist for one reason: to keep the column in perfect balance. If they don't supply enough heat to the reboiler, the vapor pressure drops. Without enough gas pushing up, the liquid stops flowing across the trays and just dumps straight down through the holes. This is called weeping, and it completely ruins the separation. On the other hand, if the controls fail and they blast too much heat, the gas shoots up so violently that the liquid can't fall down. The liquid gets pinned to the upper trays, and the tower literally backs up like a clogged drain. This is called flooding. When a column floods, the liquid gets carried straight out the top, destroying the purity of the overhead product. It's a catastrophic process failure that can shut down a multimillion-dollar plant in minutes. Distillation isn't just about applying heat, it's about perfectly balancing temperatures, pressures, and flow rates to pull pure products out of complex mixtures. If this breakdown helped you understand the process, hit the like button and subscribe for more 3D engineering animations.